When my little tits are ready to go, stick up like little turkeys and mama does, signifying that the meat is done. Anyway, speaking of getting all excited, dude, I am really excited for this fucking book, dude. I am on this fucking high right now, and you gotta understand, the closest thing to a high that I had recently was like a sugar rush. That was about the extent of it. The fucking epilogue. I had forgotten I had written it. I had just found it. And I'm not saying it was written perfectly, because you probably have to do a lot of work with it, but the concept is fucking amazing. Just the way this shit is flowing right now, I'm very happy with it. I mean, just very happy with the way it's flowing. Now, again, I'm doing it in pieces, so like if I read it from start to finish, it might be okay, that's a little too much, that needs to be worked around, but the collective concept that I've got going, I'm really happy about. But this fucking epilogue, I want to take a minute and talk about the epilogue. I fucking love the way this ends. I absolutely, because the actual last story is titled A Year Later on the Nickel, which is basically after the old woman dies. So from when she dies in the middle of the story, it's a year later after all that stuff. And then you have the epilogue. And I talk about being like a modern day Job, and how God and Satan are just rimming the fuck out of my ass, just trying to fuck me over, like, have you considered my servant Job today kind of bullshit. And then I realize that my life is a cosmic joke. I go into this sequence because I swear to Christ, it was Thanksgiving, and it was like almost like every Thanksgiving, because the four of us didn't get together very often. Dale T, my mother, myself, and Jean. And we didn't do like family dinners together. Like, we would have dinner, we'd cook dinner, and we'd all go our separate ways. So I'd be in the bedroom, the old woman would be in the living room, and Dale T would be in the bedroom, in the back bedroom. And Jean was off, poodle grooming and lesbian poodle grooming and shaving her dog's anus. Whatever. So for all of us to be together, it was limited, it was random, and it was Thanksgiving. Now just think about Thanksgiving for a second. It's actually kind of a forlorn time because it's midwinter. The trees have no leaves. There's snow. It's kind of barren and kind of it's almost depressing. But you have Thanksgiving in the middle where it's like, oh, you're giving thanks, you get together, the food, the family. Christmas is right around the corner, literally a month later. So it's a festive, joyous time, even though you go outside and it looks like shit and you get depressed and want to die. Well, we're all sitting there, and just randomly, I don't know what the catalyst for this happening was, but Jean and the old woman started talking about what they're going to do after Dale T dies. Now keep in mind, he's sitting right there. He's sitting right there with a turkey leg up his ass. And they're going to move to Florida, and they're going to... Jean's going to buy them these weird fucking British big top hats, and they're going to go around Florida, and they're going to retire to Florida, basically. And they planned out this whole fucking thing, like a vacation for forever. They're just going to retire and just have a good time while Dale T's, singing with the angels. Which in and of itself is funny as fuck. And I go on and I literally tell this faux story. That's not a real story. I made it up, obviously. I start talking about what it would be like if the Grim Reaper showed up on the front door, and the only one who could see him was a mildly retarded child and a dog. And as the dog starts barking as he enters the room, and the little retarded boy is sitting in the corner just drooling, and then I reveal that I am the retarded boy sitting in the corner drooling, and like pointing and going, and nobody's understanding what because we're the only two who can see, me and the dog, the only two who can see the Grim Reaper. And I do this beautiful little section where Dale T's sitting there cracking walnuts, And he's like, I paint the picture where he's like he's gnawing on him and shit, and like, one of the things was like, every once in a while he'd yell out, "Hey woman, look, it's rotten inside," and then he'd proceed to eat it. And then he looks over at me and he goes, "Hey boy, want a nut?" And he wails one at me, hits me in the head. Fucking great. I really like the way it worked out. And I paint the picture of the Grim Reaper like taking his side and just rearing back. And he's just gonna slash the fuck out of Dale T's head. He's just gonna rip the fuck. He's gonna just like fuck him up, right? Well, at the last possible second, he looks down at something caught between his toes, and he bends down, and just as he does, the Grim Reaper takes a wild swing, and it misses his head by an inch. It swipes and kills the old woman by accident, and she's the one who ends up dead. So the whole point of the story was, Dale T was the one who was supposed to die. That's how we all planned it. Even he was like, "Oh, okay." He was on board with it too, and it ended up being just a fate where the old woman died instead of him. I mean, the idea that it's of our original family, it's just me and Dale T. To me, as somebody who kind of needed and still does need a family on some level, being left with just him was like the lowest common denominator that you could possibly ever imagine. Like, at least with the old woman, she would get me to the doctor. You know what I mean? I'd be seeing a doctor right now. I'd be going to the movies once in a while. I'd actually be doing stuff. It's just because you understand, the old woman and I did a lot of stuff. We went to the movies. We went out to dinner and stuff. We even went to the gym. I mean, it's stuff I did with my mother. It's just, you take that away. And Dale T was really never a father. He was just sitting on a couch watching beans and eating westerns. And yes, I said it that way for a reason, but again, he was the one who was supposed to die. Because the point of the story is, I wanted to try to pinpoint, this is part one, keep in mind, I wanted to pinpoint where it all went wrong, and I decided for that moment at the end of that book that part one of the main cruxes that made my life total fucking shit is the fact that the old woman died. And Dale T was the one who was supposed to be, the one kicking off. Now, when I start book 3, the epilogue is going to be part 2, where I talk about where everything shit the bed is when I fell into the septic tank. So it's going to be this really elaborate, like, you put all that shit together, like you put it with book 1, book 2, and book 3, it's going to really flow, I think. I mean, I could be fucked up in the head too, and I could be wrong, but I'm really digging how it all works, because it's one of those few times when there really is a method to my madness, in the sense that where I'm putting these stories, they're going together in like a really good way. Because, again, I don't want to say that the flow of the book is really good. The part 2, I should say, book 2. That the flow of book 2 is perfect, but the concepts are flowing very well, if that makes sense. I'm not saying the stories themselves are great, or they don't need to be really edited or reworked. I'm not saying any of that, but just how it goes from, and I talked about this in the last 7 clips, because again, I'm really excited about this, but just how it goes from the family's all together, we're all doing stuff, blah blah blah, then I meet Sarah, she treats me like shit, she leaves, blah blah blah, and that's like a 3-part story, which that in and of itself, like I said in that one clip, I'm really enjoying that one too, because at first I didn't like all the gushy shit, but the gushy shit had to be in there because it takes the reader and be like, oh, this is kind of, it's kind of sweet, kind of nice, you found somebody, blah blah blah, and then you see how it all turns to shit, and then when you put the epilogue in there, and I'm contemplating, where did my life go wrong? Okay, it's like, pick a fucking event, It's just, I don't know. I'm really digging what's going on here. And I got a few other things. I gotta look through all my shit, because there's stories that I've written Yeah, that's, somebody who writes, that's a perfect way to describe it. Something I've written. Fucking moron. You get my point. Shit that I wrote a long time ago. that could be tweaked and worked and put into this book or the next one or whatever. Now, I'm still not sure if I'm going to do 3 and 4. I'm planning on 4, but I don't know. I might just do like... I might just break up book 3 into like part 1 and then part 2. Because you got part 1 with the aftermath of the death and then the stepmother and the whole changes that were taking place. But that should be a whole book in and of itself. And then the stuff with Graham and Jean later and up to current. But I don't know. It depends how much content there is too. If there's enough content to kind of like squish it together and make like one book, but I don't know. I think there's enough. I've got enough right now that I know of. I mean, we're talking, I probably have at least a good 150 pages for each one. So that's almost enough. I mean, I could have, 300-page book for each, or I could have 2, whatever. I got probably close to 150 pages, give or take. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, maybe not that much. We're talking maybe 80 pages for the 3rd book, but the 4th book there's quite a bit of stuff. So I don't know. I have to see what I have and put it all together and see what it comes out to be. But I don't know. Anyways, like I said, I'm really happy I found this particular, because I found like this fucking treasure trove of shit that I had written in Dropbox that I didn't even know I had forgotten it was there. There's like 5 or 6 stories that I just added to the thing. Like the story. The story about Dale T thinking that me as an 11-year-old child didn't know how to poop, and he's like, well, when you got a fart and you push with your stomach, well, that's how you do it. And I'm like, Dale T, I'm 11 years old. If you don't think I know how to shit by 11, you're a fucking idiot. But then he gets all defensive, and I was just telling you. I was like, you're just telling me, but what you're saying is stupid. Shut the fuck up. And then he has me shave the back of his neck. I mean, seriously, he never took me into the bathroom, and like you see those TV shows and movies and stuff where the young 11-year-old kids got the shaving cream all around his face, and he's shaving wrong, and the father comes and says, "No, son, do it like this." And he shows him. There was none of that. There was Dale T dressed in his camouflage fatigues, getting ready to go to reserves to play full war for the weekend. And he's like, take this disposable razor and I want you to shave the back of my neck so that there's no crazy hair sticking up. So you have to shave from my where my hairline is all the way down to my collar. Now keep in mind, it's like 4 a.m. in the morning. And we're standing in the dining room, that big picture window, and the light is on. And anybody driving by can see the two of us standing there, me shaving his fucking neck. Because the window was just like... And you put the light on, again, anybody driving through is going to see us standing there, me shaving his fucking neck. It was just insane. I mean, these fucking stories need to be told, dude. The fact that this shit happens. Now, I don't know, like, if it's just me. Like, I'm sure you have weird-ass fucking stories, like, oh, the cat did something, or, one of the kids did something, or... I don't know if you have stories like that on a daily basis, but... I don't know if they're as weird and non-mundane as the ones that I have. I mean, the idea that I shaved the back of Dale T's fucking neck at 4 a.m. as he's dressed in camouflage fatigues in a window where people are driving by watching. I mean, you might have like 1 or 2 stories like that. My entire life has been like that. Honest to God, I am going from moment to moment of insanity. It is constant insanity and stupid bullshit that my life has become. And I don't know how I feel about any of that. It's like, again, I don't want to sound like I'm special or anything like that, but it's just, I mean, if people have these types of experiences, they're either not finding the humor in them, or they just don't have time to write about them, because the idea that Dale T thought I was 11 years old and didn't know how to poop, and then tells me, like when you got a fart and you push with your stomach, that's how you poop. No, but I mean, seriously, now, like, I know you had stories of, like, the basement with what's his face, George. I understand that you had stuff like that. Like you probably could tell a couple good stories there, but I mean, how many stories do you really have, though? I mean, seriously, think about it. You've got an entire life. I mean, how many books could you write? I'm working on like third book here of just stupid, insane fucking shit. Can you say the same? I don't know. Maybe you can. That's the thing. I don't know, because I can't relate to other people on that kind of a level where, not that it's important or not important, but it's like, I feel like I can take things that are just stupid and make them funny and make them important and make them, enjoyable. Where a lot of people just don't see it that way. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm full of shit. Like I said, you have some good stories with George and shit back in the day and the whole thing. And I'm sure there's some Walt stuff you could throw in there. There's definitely some Angie shit. Like you could write a good fucking book too. You could write an accompanying book to what I've got. And it would be fan-fucking-tastic. You put the two of them, seriously, you put at least the trilogy and that together, you got some funny fucking upstate New York bullshit right there. that is like some upstate New York shit right there. That's some grade A bullshit right there. And it would be humor. I mean, shit, dude, you could tell this entire story about George, Walt, and Angie alone. Forget all the other stuff. And then any little personal stories you want to tell in between there. So, but it's like, I don't know, it just feels weird that I'm contemplating a fourth book, and I don't even move, dude. I literally have sat here in this bed the entire fucking day. I don't think I got up. No, actually I did. I got up and watched a little TV, and I fell asleep in the chair. And I woke up, my legs were all fucked up, and I had to get up and stretch out and lay on the bed. I've been working on this book all fucking day, yet weird-ass fucking shit just keeps happening to me. It literally is, have you considered my servant Job today? It is one of those things. I swear to God, they are fucking ripping me a new one for tits and giggles. I'm telling you right now, it's a fact. It is an absolute fact. You can't persuade me otherwise on that. So, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. I really, really, really fucking don't, because... anyways, is there anything else I want to talk about quick? Not really. Like I said, I found some new stuff I'm going to add, because I was feeling that it was a little lackluster as far as like the amount, because like each section, was only like 5 or 6 stories, and because again it's broken up into 3 sections, and each section, it just didn't feel like there was a lot. I mean, it was like right now I'm up to, I think, like 144,000 words, and we're pushing about 170 pages right now, and I'm not even done. I've got probably about half of it done right now, so it's going to be probably another couple weeks by the time you actually see what I'm done with. I'm also working on the table of contents, which is a separate page, because you can easily just cut and paste that and stick it in. So probably by the time we put the table of contents in, and then space everything out so that at the end of a chapter you space down to the next page, there's at least potentially 180 pages, give or take, right now. And I'm still going to add a couple more stories, I think. I want to get it at least around 2, maybe a little over 2. I really want to go for 3, but I don't know. It's just, well, if we're going to do digital, it doesn't really matter. But, I mean, realistically, I could break it up into 2 and have 2 potentially selling books, I mean, because the more shit you got up there, and the more people who... Because I've been watching these videos on YouTube, like how to do it. Basically, you can do printed form, like an actual book, and then you can do Kindle bullshit, and you have to kind of push it the first day, like just get anybody to look at it. And what's cool is you, because you're going to have to want to do it, because you're going to have to put your bank account, because I can't have anything linked to that. You can actually set it up where anybody who goes to the link and uses the link, if they buy anything while they're using that link, you'll actually get some money off of it. And it's like 4% of whatever they buy. I mean, it's not much, but I mean, shit, you get somebody doing that a couple times, hey, you know, it's a couple bucks, you know what I'm saying? And if it's promoted properly, basically just pass the link out and get people to buy it. In fact, the way it's set up is you give out a bunch of free copies essentially, and the whole point is because it's to do with the algorithm. So you have to kind of get it, like kickstart it, and then see what happens. Like there are people who are making close to $1,000 a month, and they're not even doing anything. It's just up on Kindle, and it's just sitting there, and people get it when they want it. And if we do it for about $10, we should get around 7 something each. But that ain't bad, actually, when you think about it. And like I said, it's on Kindle, and people can just browse it and see it and be like, oh, what's this? Let's try it. And there's different things you can do. Like you can have, you can do different discounts, and like when it says like $9.99 with a cross out, and then it'd be like $5.99 or something like that. And people are like, oh, it's on sale, you know. One of those things. No, obviously you get less money, but whatever. But there's a lot of cool options you can do with that. But like I said, I would like it Kindle, and I also would like it physical. And I know that's kind of a pain in the ass, but just, I don't have much, you know. So to have a physical book, like a lot of these people like, oh, I'm a published author because it's in print. To me, that's not published. That's not print. No, I don't know. I want a physical fucking book. I want something tangible that I can hold in my hand. Not some fucking Kindle like, oh, I'm a published author. No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm sorry. That's just no. You can wish in one hand, crap. You know, you're not an author. You're just an idiot who wrote something and posted it on a fucking blog. I mean, it's basically a glorified blog post, and you're getting a couple bucks for it. I don't know. Digital seems to me bastardize the whole medium, because I don't know. It irritates me. It just physically irritates me because, like I said, I would rather have something tangible. I'm not a fan of digital bullshit. I really am not. Now, I can understand paying $10 for, you know, a book, because you're getting the... It doesn't technically matter where you get it or how you get it, as long as you're reading it and get something out of it. You know, but like, I don't want to pay $80 for a digital video game. That's bullshit. I'd rather, if I'm going to pay that kind of money, I'd rather get the physical copy that I could do whatever the hell I want with. If I don't like it, I could sell it. If I like it, I can put it on a shelf. I can collect it and have it sit there, and I can be like, that looks cool. I got a bunch of games. It looks cool just sitting there. You put it on digital, it's like out in limbo. Yeah, you kind of got it, but you don't kind of got it. I don't know, it irritates me. But anyways, like I said, I've been watching these videos, and people are making good money doing that shit. Just a lot of people have a problem finding stuff to talk about, and stuff that people are interested in. I got stuff people are interested in. It just, they don't know they're interested in it, you know? They don't know until they read the shit. And I'm actually surprised that the first book, it didn't have a lot of fanfare, but the fanfare that it did have, all that was from friends and family, they seemed relatively supportive of it. It seemed like most people had a positive view of it, even though it was kind of fucked up. You know, I mean, I don't know if they were just being nice or whatever, but I don't know. But whatever. Anyways. But yeah, I think this is really an interesting way to go, because the content is there. It just needs to be edited and compiled properly. And I mean, realistically, if it was done properly, you could be making a couple $1,000s, which you're welcome to keep. Now, obviously, if it's doing well, you know, buy me a computer once in a blue moon or something, you know. Buy me a MacBook or something, you know. Whatever, I don't care. But you probably ain't gonna do. I don't know. I mean, I've seen YouTube videos where people are saying that they were just random nobodies who put something up there, and with the different things that you can do there, they were making a couple $1,000s. Like one girl made like $3,000 in the first month, or something to that effect. and it does slow down after that, because again, it's about the stupid algorithm, and you got to keep it going, and the more people that are talking about it, the more people who write reviews about it and stuff like that, and it keeps it in the mainframe, it keeps it, you know, out in the open. You know, but that's like anything else, you know. But shit, I'd give away free copies. Just say, write a fucking review and just post it up there. You get a free copy. I don't give a fuck. As long as it's up in the open and people are still, you know, random people are seeing it and they're showing it and promoting it. Because you can pay for advertising. And I don't know how much that costs. But it could do that. I don't know if I really want to. I don't like the idea of doing that, because the whole point is, you know, you shouldn't have to. But whatever. And if we can get the trilogy or the quadrilogy up there even at some point, that too would help push it, because one helps sell the other. And especially, again, the way this is set up, I'm setting it up where if you read it one to the other, it makes some sense. I mean, basically book one is kind of like Star Wars, where it's like a standalone thing where it does what it does and then it ends. And then book 2 and 3 are kind of, you know, the next 2 chapters of the Star Wars series, where they kind of go together. Like one leaves off at like almost like a cliffhanger, like a part 1, and then goes into the rest of the story. So I'm kind of doing it like that, where it's, if you read 2 from start to finish and then read 3 start to finish, it's going to kind of work together. It's going to like layer together. And hopefully tell a good narrative and tell like a fucking story that makes fucking sense. Unlike Ryan fucking Johnson, don't even get me started with that bullshit. No, there's no fucking diversity in this cast. Fuck you. This is Dale T and bullshit. I wish I could diversify the fucking cast a little bit. Whatever. Anyways, like I said, I'm excited about all this, because it's gotten to the point where it's not just an idea anymore. It's gotten to the point where, okay, this is actually coming together. And that's a good feeling. It is. Because you understand, I don't have that kind of feeling. You probably get that feeling all the time. Like, oh, I'm doing a painting and blah, blah, blah. Oh, look at that. I made a little stroke and it looks so pretty. You know, that's all great and fine. But for me, I don't have those kind of strokes. The only strokes I have are heart-related. And brain-related. But whatever. You know, so to actually have those moments where it's like, okay, I put it together and it actually goes in a really interesting way. Like I said, I don't get those kind of moments. Like I had a fucking Bob Vila moment the other day when I put that stupid ass fucking chair together. It's one of those freaking kid chairs, and you basically put in like 6 screws and twist, and then you put it together. I felt like a fucking conquering hero putting a stupid kid chair together. I mean, how sad is that? I don't get those kind of moments. Anyways, I'd like to know why it's so goddamn hot in this room. I got the AC on, I got the fan. I go in the living room, it's cool, it's nice. I go outside, it's nice. I even got the window open with the AC on. What the fuck? I don't get it. Of course, they had their fucking bathroom right on the other side of the door here. The bed, where the bed is, there was that door, and they plastered over the door, and their fucking bathroom is right over there. So like, I'm assuming that anytime they take a fucking hot shower, it's gonna get pretty fucking rank up in here. Oh fucking, oh god, I hate the idea that they were like, oh yeah, here's an idea, let's move people in 2 feet from you. Yeah, that's why when I'm in the kitchen or I'm in the fucking bathroom, I can hear these motherfuckers talking on the other side of the wall. That pisses me off. I don't want to hear them. They don't want to hear me. I surely don't want to be in the bathroom listening to that shit. I don't even want to listen to my own shit, much less that. Anyways, whatever. Shit, I'll be talking about that, trust me. I will be talking about that too. That's coming up in book 4. Anyways, like I said, there's some good stuff here. I'm actually really there's some good Dale T stuff. Because you gotta understand, at this point Dale T's sort of still the good guy. He hasn't turned to the dark side yet. So you have to kind of know that going into it. Because again, I want the role to reverse. I want Jean to be like the fucking bitch, like this, what the fuck is wrong with her kind of a deal, like she was in the first book, like that stupid bitch, and then it progressively gets, she's still a stupid bitch at the end, but it's more of, there was like a mild reconciliation at the end, where Dale T went the opposite way, where it's like, oh, everybody loves Dale T, blah, 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 the adventures of Dale T, and blah, 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 and then it's all of a sudden, like, I want the idea of Dale T to go from, like, the high loft that it was in, to the low bullshit where it's, like, disdain and hatred for the fucking guy. Like, what a fucking scumbag prick son of a bitch. That's kind of the whole point. So they've kind of reversed roles, and I like that idea, and if it can be done properly, where there is legit disdain for him, I definitely wouldn't be against that. I want people to feel what I feel. Okay, fuck that shit. Anyways, I am a little sad Jean wasn't alive to see the transition of her character, because she left off thinking I think she's a fucking bitch. Which, I mean, she was a fucking bitch. Let's just get away. She did good stuff, but she can be a haughty bitch sometimes. Most times, all the time. I'm the same way. I'm an asshole 24/7. No gives about that, you know. So I partly feel bad that she probably didn't know that I don't know. I don't know if she got what it was, because I know she was pissed about it. I know that, obviously. Especially the story where she fell down the fucking stairs with the poodle and the baby gate in the movies. Because, you know, that was, you know, obviously falling down the stairs, I can understand. And then for me to make a joke about it and make a fucking book about it and, like, laughing at it, yeah, I can understand her getting pissed. I could totally get that. But that story was too funny, though. Oh my god, I don't want to dwell on that story because, you know, whatever. But anyways, I know I keep making these clips. Well, first I'm making them because I'm trying to just pump stuff out onto my channel. So there's always like an upload, because you got to fuck with the algorithm. You know, you got to keep it going. I don't care if anybody actually listens, because nobody's supposed to listen to this except you. And if anybody does, who cares? You're probably not going to know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm talking about writing a book and blah, blah, blah. And it's not even a matter of whether people actually listen to it or what. Again, it's just to keep the channel going and be like, oh, there's a new upload today. You know, it's one of those things. Anyway, let's see, what else is there? Because I want to tone these down a little bit, because it's just like, I feel like every 5 minutes there's something new I want to talk about, and I don't know. I feel like it's getting a little old. I did like 4 of them, like right in the last 2 days. Whatever. Anyways, you know what? Fuck it. I'm done. I don't want to talk anymore. I'm actually gonna go back and edit some more of the book. I'm actually having a really good time doing this shit. You know. But anyways, whatever. Fuck you.